And for example, when you're trying to go to the gym, you're trying to be consistent, you have to realize it starts with your outfit first of all. You need to choose a gym outfit which you're going to wear, a gym outfit which makes you confident, and a gym outfit where you wear one and then the other one's in the wash. Because even though you are at the gym, you want to be hygienic, you want to feel good after each workout, and you want to make sure as well that when you are working out, that your diet is the most important thing. So what I'm going to do for like the next few months, hopefully, I don't want to say something and then I don't do it, but I'll just try my best to stick to it. And for example, I'll have sourdough bread. And the thing is, whenever it comes to eating healthy, people may recommend stuff to you, but then it's really up to you what works for you, based on your schedule, based on your allergies, based on what you're trying to do, whether you're trying to gain weight, to lose weight. Because if you're losing weight, you're going to eat less. But if you're trying to gain weight, you should be eating more. And not only eating more, but you need to be exercising more. So not only sourdough bread will I be eating, but I'll be eating chicken and rice. I'll be eating banana. I'll have a protein bar. Because the thing is, it's so easy to have liquid calories. But a protein bar, once you've eaten it, you're going to be more full. When it comes to 2 protein bars versus 2 protein shakes, you're going to realize that because protein bars can be measured in quantity, because for example, if you have 2 protein bars in front of you and you have 2 protein shakes, you're more likely to be careful with what you're eating when it comes to a protein bar, because you've seen that one is taken away from you. Because you're eating one, so one's taken away. But when it comes to a protein shake, you have to realize that when you do drink one, you're less likely to drink the other. And for example, when it comes to a protein shake, you might not actually finish it all the way. That shouldn't really matter too much. Either you have a protein shake or you have a protein bar, you realize it's doing the same thing. Because you need a diet that's high in protein. You need a diet where you eat something and you're not craving snacks afterwards. And before I started this diet, I realized that I wasn't really having the best diet, because I can't be exercising, but then my diet is really holding me back. So that's why I'm really focused on my diet. And I'm hopefully going to do this up until the summer, so that way in the summer I feel good, that I'm not embarrassed. In terms of drinks, I just drink water. Occasionally I drink Fanta. I drink squash. And it's very silly of me to think that anyone wouldn't know, but let's just pretend that we're all new and I'm putting you on to a good diet. And what else I'm going to say, so in terms of my gym routine, before I used to have different exercises that I told you about, where Mondays I'll focus on biceps, triceps, and I'll focus on chest. And then when it comes to Wednesday, because each day I do a workout and then I recover. So now onto Wednesday, for Wednesday it's just legs and abs. But then when it comes to Friday, it's back and shoulders. The reason why I have that whole routine memorized of what I did before is because I've been consistent, I've struggled, I've overcome challenges. And you have to realize when it comes to going to the gym, it's not just about showing people how much weight you can lift, but it's also about your consistency. You can't be lifting a weight that's too comfortable to lift, because when you lift a comfortable weight, you realize that you're not really challenging yourself. But then also you see the most growth when your muscles are really contracted, you do slower reps, you're lifting a heavier weight. And it's not about doing the most reps, but it's more about consistency. It's more about going to failure, training to failure. And you have to realize it really depends on your technique as well. You need to find ways to make a workout fit your schedule, and you don't want it to be that you're in there for the longest time and you don't want to be doing the most reps. You need to find a way of how to do things efficiently. So that's why the more times that you go to the gym, you're going to find ways of how to do things efficiently so that you can save time. And when it comes to really your diet, you need to realize that you shouldn't overcomplicate it. It needs to be simple. And little things such as sauces and oils, you just need to be counting the calories for those as well. And the reason for that is because it's added to your diet without you really realizing and without you really tracking it. And I think the best way to really improve your diet is to actually track it yourself. Because even though you have apps to do it, and for example, it's only when you're busy that you can use that app to do it. And for example, if you have so much food that you're trying to track, then you can use the app. But you realize that when you have fewer foods, when you have less food, you basically need to realize that when you have less food and you're tracking it yourself, you realize it's easier to track, because people say what is easily tracked can be easily managed, and what is easily managed can be easily done in terms of your real life. So I decided to switch things up in terms of my diet, in terms of my workouts. So really, I'm focusing more on a push-pull legs workout. In terms of a push, pull and legs workout, I've done a push workout on Monday, and then Tuesday I was focused on my diet and really my steps. And then Wednesday today, this is me going to the gym. So I'll be going to the gym after this video. I'll edit this video and then I'll go to the gym. And then I'll focus on the pull workout. And I don't know too much about a pull workout, so that's why I'm in for a surprise. But what I will do, I'll upload it to my YouTube shorts, so that way I can explain it more to you in another video if I need to. But so far, in terms of the push workout, I did lateral raises, I did tricep extensions. When it comes to tricep extensions and lateral raises, I did not like those two exercises in particular, because I'm training muscles that I've never really trained before. So that's why I didn't really like it, because it's like an awkward exercise to do. But in the gym, you have no excuses, because like I said in my recent video, you gain the most from the exercises that you don't do, because your body's not really used to it. The objective of going to the gym is to look good, to feel good, and you don't want insecurities or days where you don't feel 100% to really hold you back. And for example, when you don't have any pain, you can't really gain what's on the other side of that. So going back to my 10 to 12 week routine of going to the gym, you need to realize that 10 to 12 weeks is 2 months and 2 weeks. But then when it gets to 12 weeks, it will be 3 months. So that's what I'm going to say, because the time is going to go by anyway. And you realize that when it comes to you being consistent, when it comes to you taking notes, you have to realize that you just have to take it one day at a time. Because for example, you want it to be that you wear gym outfits that make you feel good. You have a gym outfit for every time that you go to the gym. And that's really my update, because I've been consistent for at least 2 months and 2 weeks now. And another 2 weeks, it'll be like 3 months anyway. And the time will just go by. And you're probably hearing rain right now, because you have to realize that it's not every day that it's going to be sunshine, it's not going to be rainbows. And you have to realize that when you go to the gym or you do something that you want to do, because I don't want to make this video just about the gym, even though it is about the gym, because I do have a life outside of the gym, and that could be the same thing for other people. You just need to realize, why can't you just have both? Where you have a life outside the gym, but you also have a life in the gym. So the weather, you can't really control it, but you have to realize that the things you can't control, such as what people say to you, such as people at least checking you out as well, but then also the weather, because you need to just focus on what you can control, such as planning your day, being on time, choosing your gym outfits, and realizing that you want to be disciplined rather than being motivated. Because when you're disciplined, you just do things regardless of how you're feeling, regardless of any distractions. But when it comes to you being motivated, you only wait until you feel like you're motivated. And the last thing that I'm going to say, so in terms of steps, because I did briefly talk about it, when it comes to daily steps, you want to be aiming for 8 to 10,000 steps a day. And for example, you do that for 4 to 5 days a week. Because obviously you need rest days, obviously you need time to yourself. You have to realize that walking is so underrated, because people think that because it's so easy to do, that they just don't really do it. So that's what I'm going to say, because when it comes to really walks, you have to realize that anyone can do it. You can wear comfortable shoes. You don't even have to be carrying anything except bring yourself.